Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a sec. Let me see that. Just opening the invitation to guys. So it's been a while. It's been a very long time. Um, so I don't want to make today a lecture of any sort. I'd rather have a conversation. I will try to, throw in some advice here and there, but mainly I want to kind of catch up, see what you guys are doing, have conversations. You talk, I talk, that type of vibe, and not just, yeah. And then based on how today goes, I'll decide if I actually want to.
Lost some door handles. They found some door handles.
Yeah.
Parts from customers. I don't know, but anyway, they I guess they figured it all out.
Yeah, that's why. So I wasn't sure.
No further concerns there. And then
Okay. So let's open the floor for some conversation. What's going on? What's going on?
Well, good morning.
Hey, Moan.
Yep, I'm trying to see what I can buy.
Let me see. Yeah. So I will start looping in conversations. So, as advised by this guy who seems to know how to trade, he went to mark 7:20 a.m. each morning. There, at the reference point, and everything before it. So since the start of the day, this is start of the day looks like it's in here. So that means since the start of the day, this is our range. So everything we need is to the left of us. We can go inside this and micromanage it as much as we want. But the fact of the matter is, at this point in time, this market is likely to do one of two things: retrace back inside this range or leave this range. That's it. There's no magic about that. There's no, oh my God, that's a strategy. It's just simple. We can't move markets. So when you look at this, and if I start trading here, this is the information I have. Not exactly, this is not exactly the start of the day, but just saying, right? We know it's likely that this market is going to leave the range or retrace inside here. Now I'm going to pull it over some more so I can factor in this candle's low in my decision-making process. Pull that out. Let's take a look at the delivery inside here. Markets open up, we go down, we go up. Anytime we open and we go down, we go up. You're always checking for like the basic commonsensical things. How far down did we go from the open? And if the retracement higher went back above the open, okay? Just eyeballing this, we can see that we went down from the open, up from the open, which means everything inside this range of price is efficient. Everywhere there was down candles, there's no up candles. So this high, this low represents an efficient portion of price action. When the market is trading an efficient range, we know what it's likely to do. We're not predicting rules and processes. It's likely to leave an efficient range because there's usually no more liquidity inside. That might not necessarily be technically true, but for conversation purposes, in efficient ranges, there's nothing to do inside the range, so we leave. Simple. So, range high, we left the range, traded above. Now we want to know, is it going to stay above, go higher? If it's not going to stay above, you want CSD to see this market trade back lower. At that point in time, if it's trading lower through an efficient range, you have mile markers. 50% of the range is your mile marker. If it stops at 50% of that range, then you know it's looking for support structure to go higher. If it's closing below 50% of the range, and in particular, the candle that closes below 50% of that range, like a down candle, does not get a CSD, then you know we are not bullish. And at that point in time, let's take the low. Okay? The whole lot of logic and process in that simple conversation there. Okay. We're breaking low, we take the low. Again, anytime you have a mile marker below you, could be a low, a 50%, whatever. Once it gets taken, the market closes below it. You don't have to be an eager beaver. You don't have to be crazy. Right? All you have to do is say, if this low is liquidity,
Order
and we
filled.
close below,
Order filled.
that means CSD that candle, and we're bullish. So in this case, it would be the 2:12 a.m. candle. 3:12 if you're looking at New York time, blah, 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 blah. If this candle gets a CSD, you want to be a buyer. So what happens if that candle does not get a CSD and we continue closing below and closing below? You pick the low and you buy, right? No, you're on drugs. If you don't get a CSD and it's trading through a low, you're looking for expansions so you could frame logical retracement objectives, then continue short. If you can identify your range and there's an obvious key level below the range, then of course you could go and look at if it reaches for the key level, etc., etc., etc. Now, this reach down, I don't think there's a logical key level here. I could go check where's the market right now? 23,000, blah blah blah.
That's a buy.
Yeah, there's a buy setup, but I'm looking for specifically Monday, July 28th. Nope, that's not it. There would have been no one before.
I think it was all the way back
Friday.
on July 18 or 17. July 17.
Yeah, July 17. Yeah, unfilled inefficiency.
Oh, we hit it already?
Yeah, we just hit it. Not now, like right here.
Okay. Which one? This low or this low? Let me give a decent to make this lecture something. The first one hit it.
No,
I would need
the second one.
This one hit it.
no, the first one hit it.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
Now,
I'm seeing on a futures standpoint, so I wouldn't know on the CFD.
all right. So I'll just give you some advice, and then we can look and check all that good stuff. So I'm also bullish, and I'm bullish targeting where is it? There's Friday. There we go. I'd like to see the market trade as high as right there. So first thing now is, well, second thing is the high of the day is not in. Now there's a mistake that we all like to make. So for those who are trading, we're bullish. Okay, full stop. For those who are here for the lecture or the conversations, there's a mistake that everybody likes to make where you know that this does not make sense, but then you do it still because it's a Friday. Here's the lecture portion. If I have a level like this, right? That's your level, your key level, and you want to buy or sell from that level. Let's use buys for this example. The market runs to the level here. When would you want to buy? A or B after this low gets run? Not a rhetorical question. Genuinely curious how you guys frame.
I mean, if I would prefer the low to be ran on the safer side.
Nice. So I would also prefer the low to be run, and I'll tell you why. As a curious thinker and somebody who likes to journal everything, what I've seen a lot of is whenever there's a key level and the market runs to it, this is the delivery to the key level. I'm going to say 8 times out of 10, since I'm not perfect. 8 times out of 10, the delivery to the key level is going to create a reference point. After that reference point gets formed, your PD areas get formed after. Most persons, however, like to look for this. And you have gotten so used to just looking for that, despite failing multiple times, you still don't come to the realization that this is messing me up. So we all know this little fractal. Yes, everybody knows that fractal. Usually, this is the low of a range. Either it's a timed range or just a regular high to low. That's it. This fractal becomes sexier to me when we have a key level here that we know before it gets there. Whenever the market pushes towards that key level, okay? Whenever the market pushes towards this key level and it fails and it starts to CSD in here, this is doing exactly what you think it's doing. It's calling everybody who thinks this is the bottom to be a buyer here, to bring them up, then take them out, then leave without them. You've seen this happen many times. We've all had trades that stop us out and then move after. This is the basis. You know that already. Now, this conversation is for somebody specific who will go nameless because once they see this call, they know.
There's one thing, Kish, on that actually. It's funny because I've noticed it as well. Every time there is a key level, the market is always going to go there. So it's the delivery that I've noticed, right? The market is going to speed towards the key level, stop maybe like a few points before hitting the key level, retrace in a CSD, and then run again rapidly into the key level and then give you the real CSD before leaving. But I thought I was tripping, so it's funny that you mention it.
Amen. So that's why when Mohan told me that there was a run to a level here, I asked which one was it. because it automatically will set the stage for me as to, what to expect now. If this ran to the level, then this is doing exactly what I just talked about. Pulling buyers in, short, take them out, and then there's a buy for us. If this got to the level, okay, because we're unbiased. Unbiased, not that we're not bullish. We are bullish. Unbiased in the sense that we don't demand which run needs to get there. We just need to get there. If this is the one that got to it, then this is doing exactly what this should be doing, pulling us in to take us out. But Moan has already established that this is the one that got hit. This is the one that got to the level. This is sweeping them out. Amen. So this should make that buy setup pretty easy. And if you remember at the start of the call, when you came in, we're looking for buys today. Order block. There we go. That's a buy. I didn't execute. So, wow, that's a nice trade. It's a very nice trade.
That's
I got
70
it.
points.
Indeed. Looks like close to 100 to 32. Yeah, pretty much. But if you got 70, kudos. So we'll talk about this delivery afterwards. Just trying to set some ground rules. So at this point in time, I have no idea what this line is for. Let's take that off. At this point in time, this is the information we have to make a decision. If you have not made a decision or you haven't come to the conclusion that whatever this is, that is fine. That fractal happened yesterday when I was targeting the 2 p.m. open of, what day was it? What day was it, guys? That big short. Wednesday the 30th at 2 p.m. My trade was targeting this open price. Short. Notice this and this. We pull towards it, fail, it pulls back, it sweeps them out. We pull towards it, we fail. Same thing. Whenever these runs towards the key level fails, it's easier for you to anticipate this type of movement away. I traded one of these. I don't remember which one. I think it was this one. I think it was this one and then that one afterwards. Then I played something here. And then this too. But irrelevant. The point is, if what I just said makes sense and you spend some time looking at it or looking for it, over time, you're going to be very good at anticipating it. So you see the level, you see the failure, and it starts the CSD, whether you're looking at multiple time frames or not. It's going to be part of your process to expect this to fail, and expect the CSD, and expect them to pull in buyers. And then once your confidence kicks in, you'll actually trade it, right? So let's read the delivery now. That's here. For all intents and purposes and conversation, 7:20 is the start of the morning session. For all intents and purposes, all right? It's what you call open outcry. You will hear that somewhere else. I don't know. Open outcry. 7:20 open. Market opens up, plays around. While I'm not telling you about any trades now, I'm just trying to help you to read this real time. Open price. We close through. We close above. At this point in time, all of this is efficient. If the market is coming back inside an efficient range, it's doing the same thing that we just talked about. We're either reaching for 50%, finding support at the high, or going for the low. Closing below 50% of the efficient range tells you expect the low. The first time you try to do these things, you're going to have a lot of success, and then you're going to have some failure. Whenever the failure comes, most persons system hop. Whatever your system is, once you start seeing any type of discrepancy, you system hop. I don't think it's a good idea to system up because you're going to keep yourself in that loop of lack of conviction forever. When this happens, anytime you have a trade idea or plan or strategy and it fails, journal. What do you journal? Journal the conditions under which it happened. For example, I strongly believe, and the data suggests, that Mondays create a high of the week about 30% of the time. It's my data. I don't care what anybody else's data says, that's my data. There are conditions under which it can create the high of the week. So if I'm looking at the daily chart and I'm expecting a run on Monday's high or run on Monday's low, depending on the bias, it's always going to be based on what is the relationship between Monday's high and low and previous week's high or low or previous week's liquidity. That understanding is fractal. So while I don't swing trade or look at the daily chart a lot for key levels, it helps me now when I'm looking at fractal days. Hope that makes sense. So as we are right now, if this is a delivery and this is the start of the delivery, and my data says start of the week rarely creates the high or the low of the week. If this represents the start of a delivery, it says ... about the first set of high and low that prints here. It's not likely to be the highest high or not likely to be the lowest low. So how do I decide if it should be the highest high or the highest low? Weekly profiles. In my opinion, fair value gap is the greatest speed area to ever exist from ICT. Right? Point number 2, purge and revert, the greatest concept ICT has ever taught. Point number 3, weekly profiles, the greatest fractals ICT has ever taught. So, studying and understanding fair value gaps, studying and understanding purge and revert, studying and understanding weekly profiles makes you better than everybody else. Full stop. This right now is 754. These are the first high or low, high and low formed. And the market is basically swirling around them. Most people look at this and try to determine, I was bullish and then it's coming back, or it's no bearish or something. No. When I look at this, I'm thinking the new hourly candle is going to come in. The bias is to expect higher prices. Despite the fact that NASDAQ is should be underlyingly bearish right now, the bias for today is that we should be trading higher. I'm looking at, without going to the hourly chart, high and low of the hour. If this is 720, open up the hour somewhere in here, which means high of the hour, low of the hour. It is not strange to anybody to see the hour open, sweep the previous hour high, sweep the previous hour's low, and then move. So instead of looking at price and thinking, oh my God, it's not doing anything, or it's going to stop me out or something like that, just pause for a second and say, you know what? Let me not enter yet. Let me wait for 8 o'clock. Let me mark these levels and say, when they get taken, I'll trade. I'm going to be a buyer today, but at the moment, it's still early. Two reasons why it's early. I don't know if there was a discrepancy if futures was the only chart that hit the level here and CFD fails. I have half a mind to not care, to be honest. But I want to see 8 o'clock open. This could have been a short for somebody, not me. The efficient range we talked about inside here. Eyeballing, we close below 50%. It does not mean, again, to try to do something, try to justify or whatever. All you have to do is just chill for a second. Equities open is not here yet. This market hasn't done anything crazy to run away. You haven't missed anything. Okay, so relax for a moment. And until 8 o'clock, use this time to ask some questions. Oh, somebody asked, should I be on the M4? Why not? It's not going to kill anybody. Very least it'll spark some curiosity.
I have a question.
Sure.
So you mentioned three things earlier: FVGs, purge and revert, and weekly profiles. Upon my studies, one thing that I've realized, I don't know if it's supposed to be secretive or not, between 8 o'clock and 2 p.m. Well, I'm using New York time. 8 o'clock and 2 p.m. If it's a 5-hour range and time range, and if you treat it as a weekly profile, most of the time you would catch the move of the New York session. Is that what you were referring to?
No,
Oh,
no. If that's a thing, then you just taught me something, if that's a thing, right? Weekly profiles are it's a crutch for this reason. Let's say, let's use this. Bam, bam. This is a fractal that we all know and love. But this is also a weekly profile. If this is a weekly profile, what day is likely to create the low of the week?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. This is Wednesday's low. This is Thursday in here. And then this is Friday, probably sweeping Thursday's low and then pushing. So automatically, if I'm expecting Wednesday low of the week, here's my rhetorical question that will seem rhetorical until you realize that persons just don't think about this. Where is your trade forming here? Good, annotate. Nice. Two logical levels, here or here. You're not wrong to say this and this, because we know it's not going to be here, right? This is where you get cooked. What makes it easier to identify if this is going to be where your trade is going to form? Two things. Knowing where this low is, that's one, and two, knowing if we're running that low into a key level. Those are the only two things. If you early, Seeing a low, no timed range, just a low, get run, no CSD, trying to buy, no time element at all, just pure desire, gets you buying at the open price of a down candle, and then it goes down. So here's 8 o'clock, so here's the volatility that we're talking about, blah, 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 blah. Eyeballing, the persons who are stalking a trade, 50% of this high to this low. Just eyeball wherever that is. Since I'm here, I just do that. This is how you learn to anticipate setup. Eyeball 50% of the efficient range. The efficient range here is your key level. What happens at your key level tells you what to expect next. What you expect next is what you trade. So you're probably here because you want signals, or you're probably here because you miss me. What I'm trying to show you here is you don't have to be an eager beaver every time. Everybody likes a good eager beaver, but you don't have to be an eager beaver every time. There are clear mile markers and landmarks that tells you I can participate. The most aggressive entry strategy of Fractal you can take here is when this candle closes, if it closes above 50% of the down candle, and the next one opens and trades lower, you buy into that. That's the most aggressive you can be here. If you're trying to be semi mechanical, you can do this. Same thing. Here's your 50%. I haven't closed above it. On the down candle sprint here, if we get closes above its 50%, you buy below the open of the next one. So if you're
Kish,
yeah,
sorry, just curious, why are we using this as the efficient range, not like the whole thing?
let's go back here. Have a body here.
Oh, you mean this point in time, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
all good.
Yeah, it's clear now.
Cool. So again, most persons are going to find out in here because the reasons for going long, the clear mile markers that say you can go long, don't print. But sometimes you just don't know what those are, so you just end up open and print. Two things here tells you that you can buy. Closing above 50% of this candle or closing above this line. None of them happened here. But somebody is still going to buy this on instinct and justify that it was there on the M1. The same way you look at higher time frame first. Same thing you're doing here. What I like to do is when I'm doing HFT, if I have a price delivery that runs lower and it trades higher, if we close above that, I'll buy into this aggressively. If we wick above it, I expect this and then this. We wicked above it here. If I'm going to be trading, first thing I'm going to expect that they run this low. 756 low. The fact that this wicked up here did not close above 50%, the first thing I expect is for them to trade below here. So now watching this real time, you're probably thinking, what is going higher now? What do you do? Nothing. I do nothing. Because
You would still wait for a close even if I mean you would still wait for this low to be taken even if we close above this?
yep. That's what
Oh,
I was going to say. We make decisions left to right. That's what gives me conviction. When I point to something before even structure prints and I say, this is what I'm going to do. And then, if you're watching it real time and it starts to move before doing what I want to enter, out of banter, I'll make jokes about it. But most persons will just look at them and say, I was busy. But I'm here now. I love you. Okay. So yeah, we read price left to right. So the moment this happens, my thought process goes to I want to buy below there. This is going higher. All I'm thinking about is it's not yet time for me to enter. These don't sound like grand strategies or, oh my God, that's that thing that I really needed to hear. But it's the small ingredients, it's the salt you sprinkle over whatever you're doing, and it makes it better. As this is going higher, probably somebody bought here, just out of, I don't know, aggression or whatever, or intuition, or it's bullish and it's at the low, blah, 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 so I should buy. Probably somebody did that. I get paid for decisions. So as this is printing higher, I'm not telling you that I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy it's going higher because I'm bullish and I want it. No. All I'm thinking in my mind is, why are they waiting so long to print what is required to trade higher? And if they don't print what is required to trade higher, they should not trade above anything else that should say, if we get above here, the market is clearly bullish. So what that means is, if we're caught between 2 mile markers, one level should initiate higher prices, and one level should confirm higher prices, and the market just keeps doing this. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Time
Yeah.
distortion.
Time distortion, not necessarily time distortion, but distortion. Why could or would this be distorting so that I can anticipate my participation? When can I expect this to move again?
Be open.
Open price. I'm going to argue anytime after there is fine. Depending on how close to this time we actually get that run, then I try to say to myself, should I hold through the open or not? As it is right now, you're going to find all the reasons in the world why you can buy here. There's a M5, there's a M1, there's a H4. There's so many levels here that you can justify. Why? Because you're trying to read it as you want it to print. I'm reading it left to right. And I'm reading it with the processes that I know works. You wake this high, I don't need it to close below here. I just needed to take that low before going higher. So now,
Because technically, if this is an efficient range, Kish, like we rejected 50% and haven't taken the low.
all the more reasons why this low should get taken. Now, if we're really putting pen to paper, we're going to say both of these lows should get taken. So, on a normal day, fading the OLR feels nice, right? It's running a low. You wait, you buy. On a day like this, where it should push through 2 lows, that's not a good idea. On this call today, I'd really like this for a fractal to print that I can show you real time, where this happens and we close above. then it wicks down and rally. If that happens on one of these calls, then beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let me see if we can get one of that and you can see it. These are absolutely beautiful when they print where you're expecting them to print. Remember, it is clear like this. And neither of the mile markers are being traded to. Anticipate that they're cooking some type of distortion. It's not always as friendly as this. And I say friendly because if you ignore rules and you just go long, this is not hurting you. You're pretty hopeful that it's going to play out, it's going to play out, it's going to play out. Versus not so much. It's been held. Watching this until 8:20 or equities open and it gets held like this is going to suddenly feel better if you don't see this or this get traded to. Then you're going to reflect on how many times have you seen these clear structural patterns, and I say patterns loosely, that you enter on and it does not move, and you just sit there hoping until it takes you out. Now you can see that there's a methodical process that you can follow. I'm not saying a mechanical process, because mechanical assumes that if you get taught this concept and you have a down candle followed by two green candles followed by a down candle followed by, you're going to assume that this is how it will print every time. That's mechanical. Methodical is saying, once I have this, the next step I should get is this, then this. And if you can do that, you will have conviction in the fact that this could have been done in two candles. We could have literally wicked lower, close above 50, still wick this high, then you buy the next candle's open and it's gone. What? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. This is how they tease you. Ash says he's selling today. I know about that, Ash. Patience.
Hello, Kish.
Hi.
Yeah. I said I wanted to point out that also the 2 minute thing after news, right? Because yesterday night I was told I was looking at it and it was interesting this morning because I also got that long.
Mhm.
But it was because the same thing you just explained on the 1 minute printed exactly 1 minute after news around that level. So using that as a key level and just to buy up, and that was just it, close the trade and observing, and also on what the other trades were on euro. Of course, this is not about talking about what I did or did not do, right? But like just reinforcing it. But why we're also here is like because KX and I were discussing with respect to settlement.
Mhm.
If it once it's 2 p.m. to because when we're looking on the CME website, we saw that for equities it was 3:15 to 6. But we also understand that there might be also because on the website they said sometimes it's before it might be delayed. But where one is it UTC -5, like, or not, forget about UTC 5. Is it Chicago time? I mean the CME time, or New York time? Because that's very interesting.
So most of the CME time is quoted in EST, but it also tells you what time of the year you should pay attention to EST. I'm UTC 5 all year round. So for me right now, it's 8:15. My executions don't change while the times I pay attention to will change because of understanding. Now, how I anchor myself to understanding is equities open. At what point, at some time in the year, you look at an hour before equities open. At one time, with like another time, you look at an hour or less than an hour. You just need to anchor yourself to equities open, and then life becomes easy. So right now, if equities open is 8:30, and this is 7:20, that's 1 hour and 10 minutes before equities open. Yes?
Yes.
And then some other time it's 2 hours and 10. As long as I don't lose sight of where that 7:20 open price is, I'll be fine. As long as you know where equities open is, you'll be fine. You'll always be fine. So again, see, you'd have sat in along, not you necessarily, but somebody would have sat in along here with all the conviction that this should be a buy, and then they get taken out here. Now I'm interested in a CSV to form right here to send this market higher. Because I'm interested in a CSV, if I'm an eager beaver, I could look for that CSV on any time frame. Any time frame. Okay? If I'm looking for a CSV on this time frame, same thing is going to apply. If I want an order block here, I want the down candle to close, etc., etc., etc. If no down candle closes and this market starts to move higher, what am I going to look at? Oh, we've been looking at before. My analysis is anchored. I don't need to start justifying why these are key levels and all of that and find a million lines. No, we read left to right. Stay focused. This is the candle low you want to get taken before your longs come in. That got taken. Now you want to change in the state of delivery. This is currently reaching for sell side, but I want to be a buyer. Again, unless you're going to be cycling through time frames to look for a candle that closes below here to use as your CSD, all you have to do is chill. Again, I'm not going to tell you that there's a cleaner entry on the M1. I'm trying to show you or explain the logic as to why certain moves play out versus certain moves fail. This is a beautiful long. Right off the level. Bam, bam, go. We're back at that level right now. 2 minutes until 8:20. Then equities open. Again, the first sign that this wants to trade higher for me should come right at 8:20. So given the ingredients we have here to cook, I would argue that we get a big green candle or a bigger green candle than these. If the green candle is not big, I want to see it at the very least, try to make an attempt to get above 50% of this candle, which is essentially where these bodies are. So for simplicity, let's say a buy should be possible if we close above these bodies without going into all the technicalities to try to be super precise. If we see the market close above bodies here, that should be a nice buy. If we get that buy, we're going to be focused on getting outside the efficient range. So buyer close above, buyer retracement, close above, breakaway gap at that high. So everything I want can be outlined step by step. And I'm including retracements because I'm not crazy. And I just realized that I don't have my phone. So, for all intents and purposes, for my first trade of the day, I would buy this candle. I would buy below the open price of this candle as my first trade of the day. Why? I'm expecting this candle to be explosive. Volatility injection, so to speak. So I would want to see them open trade lower, and then explode higher. So let's watch this candle. Volatility injection right there. And again, in real time, same way when this was trading here, somebody looking at, what if it keeps going? What if it keeps going? I'm expecting somebody to be thinking the same thing now. That was a big down candle. And you're talking about buying in that. What if it keeps going? What if it keeps going? If it meant, what is a song? If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. First minute, first M1 candle done. I mean, I can check the time and I can see. So if I had an M1 up for the crowd, the worst thing that can happen, absolute worst, most cruel thing that can happen, is that they try to wick this low again and then, well, clearly, yeah, that clearly, clearly like that. I meant the worst thing that can happen in this bullish delivery is they try to run this candle's low again. All I'm paying attention to now, making sure that all the entry fractals form below this candle's open price, then they start to trade higher. Somewhere in here is the bodies. Okay, so we can look at it through M1 lens if you want fractals to study. I don't want them wicking that open price and not closing. No bueno. Wicking this and not closing is setting up the same stage again that we talked about. Which means if you have a candle, you're looking for the CSD there, and they wick it, it's opening the door for taking the low first. Just like this. Wick, the moment that happens, I'm bullish, but I'm not buying inside here. I have to buy below here. Now this stage is set. Now this stage is set for, let's say that. Since I'm going off the premise that this already ran what it should run, what it should run. So this is the trade idea for me at this point. This gets run, buying below this open price, run. Let me send this to somebody who might not be on the call. The Discord fund. All right, pulling up on equities open. Now you want to see that speed coming. First sign of speed again is going to be not wicking that open. Bodies above that open. As this is printing, you can watch it on the M1 or whatever, just the reference points and the mile markers are important. That open price. Do not reject that open price and try to trade lower. Just get above it, stay above it. That when that happens, there's conviction in the long setup. If that does not happen and the market trades lower, then it should need no explanation. Why did it fail? Because for it to work, we need this and then that. If you don't get this and you get that instead, 1 + 1 = 2. This is the idea. Conviction comes, it should be done now. They did that last sweep. Conviction comes from closing above here. Once I close above here, I was good. Now I feel like I should. I said I wasn't going to trade today. I said I would trade today. I'm going to trade. I'm going to grab my phone. Give me 1 sec.
So the range was mighty for that long.
Huh?
The range is very long, very big for that long.
Which one?
For higher, the target's pretty far. Better grab your phone then.
Good way to end the week. Here comes the fun part. Equity is open. Most scariest part about trading at a low ahead of equities open. Are we going to get a wick and it takes us out? Fortunately, I have a roughly about a 13-point stop. Whoa. What's going on here? The volatility has started? It would seem so. Oh, zoom in. Can we get the last minute to be beautiful? I'd rather not enter again.
Ish, like, why was like in no part in this process were you looking at the key levels to the left?
Which one? The low? Low of the day?
Just zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm asking if it's the low of the day you're referring to.
No, it's just a key level inside of the order block.
Here?
Yeah.
Under the premise of narrative and then framework, right? Narrative is the overall process of what should take place. Framework is the fractal or the pattern. In this example, everything I needed for framing higher prices came from what I got here. Yes, equities open can choose to be cruel and we get a wick down and all that. That's fine. But right now, conviction in this comes from here. We expected them to trade through here. The level it should trade to, we got that. What we want to see down there, we got that. What we need, we got that. Everything there we got. If I have all the ingredients here already to cook and it's cooking, I don't need to go and add more. If I could not see what this should reach for, then I zoom out. So if this had not happened, and I'm saying this is already the low, so that's good. Given the time it's formed, I don't expect Monday to try to reach below. What if you have a weekly profile where the market is trading down, 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 down. You thought it was going to be like Thursday low of the week, and then Friday ran and created the low. The new week started. Would you expect Monday to come in again and run Friday's low? No. I'm thinking Thursday's low should act as support for like a Zoom fractal, which is what we're getting here, and then run. If I'm thinking purge and revert and I want to see highs in here get run, but this was already run. And that's why the breakaway gap I'm expecting should be here. And then high of this week. If I'm not looking at high of this week and I'm just looking at pure delivery, it's going to be once we closed below here, imbalances inside here to here, the highest imbalance should be my target. So I don't need anything here to, here's equities open, what is it doing? What's it doing? Uneventful. If I don't have this framework to frame that entry, then I can go left. But I have everything here to frame that, so I'm not doing left. This open volatility. Everybody's scared. What's up? Money, go to money. Okay, soon come. Soon come. Come. All the way up to the high. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
We tagged that key level perfectly.
Which one? The one that you were talking about? The one that you wanted to get tagged?
Yep.
Okay. Win for both of us. This is the part that scares out most persons. Unfortunately, it happens. Why am I saying that? You want this.
Order submitted.
You want this to happen, as in close above that for conviction. Close above and it's retracing. Depending on if you entered when I entered, you would have been sweating now because you thought this would have just run. That's normal.
Order canceled.
Yeah, that one got me.
Hold. That was you, David?
Yep, that one got like 30 on 5 or 6 lots.
Wait, 30 lots?
30-point stop.
We got 30 points.
Futures, man. It's always like another 10 or 15 points more than yours.
Give it little time. I got stopped too, if you're wondering. Right.
We have news at 9 though.
If news is coming out at 9 and this is doing this, running the lows already, then I don't think there's anything to be afraid of. As a matter of fact,
Okay, so like now, how are you reframing this?
there's nothing to reframe. We're a little bit wilder when equities open. Where's your mile marker? This open. You are comfortable with them closing them up here and continuing higher. This is a little bit wilder than you'd expect. Wait for this candle to close. What happens after this candle? If this candle closes and we can't get back above here, then you leave it alone. I wouldn't frame a short, I just leave it alone. Fair?
Yep.
It'll be done in a little bit. Don't worry, don't sweat. One loss is not going to kill you, I hope. If you want to. No. Right, so the candle is closed. Ideally, I'd want to buy this inside this candle, but given the fact that it looks like this, I want to wait. But rules, all my rules say once we close above and it runs it like this, I should be able to buy the open of this candle.
Do it.
You want to see me do it?
Yeah.
Say less. Three, two, one. Watch this, David. Give you the M1 view.
What rule is that?
Watch this, David.
The degenerate rule that Kish has.
I'm here. I'm here. Watch this.
Don't do this at home, folks.
Remember what I said earlier. If you have a mile marker, David, thanks for the signal. I wouldn't have bought that on a live call, but thank you for the signal. If this is my mile marker, remember here, why did I say that run was not a part of my process? Because we wicked above that. This is the mile marker. We closed above that. I should be able to buy once this candle closes without fear. Want to know a secret, David?
Sure.
I know you don't. You're pissed at me now because I'm getting away with this again.
Every day.
I didn't even put a stop.
Madness.
I'm a product of my rules. Sadly. In the good times and bad times. I'm just a product of my rules. 100 lost, no stop. No, you're crazy. Absolutely crazy. So now, as usual, waiting for this candle to close. It's 8:39. Want to see some explosive price action now since I'm already in.
But that level also was Wednesday's the 16th low, because I was waiting for that too. So once you said you were buying, gave me very good conviction. So why not?
You know about 16 too?
Oh no, I do not know that.
Kidding.
I don't want people to flood my DM.
I'm kidding.
I'm gonna message you.
Now David is going to crucify me. Would you buy this, David?
I just think it's funny when you call this rules based when it's just like full blown degeneracy.
And I'm getting away with it every day.
You're not out of this one yet.
Make the call, David. Make the call.
Yeah, that one got me there.
Order canceled.
Wait, where did you end up?
50% DOB.
What was your stuff?
Another 30.
30? How is this 30 points? This candle is not even 30 points.
You should use the futures.
Yeah, like come to the dark side because that was a huge one.
None of the futures prop firms will allow me or accept me apparently. I have to trade in your name.
But this next 50% M1 CSD, he's going to take again full size.
No. Let's go back to where. If you're going to take this, don't take it until it snaps back. Don't take it down here, David. I don't know how big.
The back to the downside of this point, Kish.
David, you see what time it is? This will not go down there. This is, look at the time, David. This is peak reversal.
Yeah, it just took Monday.
I just don't know how big the wick is. That's why I'm chilling. But still, thanks for the signal.
You still in, or you?
No, I'm going to enter again.
How many stops you already take?
One. This is not a stop. There's a ruler.
David wins today.
How many points is that, David?
For me, that candle is 84. That's a 50-point candle for me.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I took a stop here, and I took a trade, fast trade, and I got 82 points.
Ish.
What would you do if you entered a trade and you got 84 points?
I'd get my magic ball out and probably just go sit on the couch like you.
No. Again, I don't know how big this week is going to be, so I'm not buying this until it gets much above there. It's not degeneracy if you wait.
Like, to me at this point, it's just like there's no process here for you.
What do you mean?
Like, we're bagging to the downside and you're like buying pre-M1 CSDs on the open of candles.
I don't trade M1 CSDs like this. Just, that's what I'm saying. Look at the time. Whenever a setup is printing at a level, it doesn't have to be like immediately when it hits the level.
What level are you referring to here? This up here?
This one, after the equities open spike. This is where I bought, remember? Or I'm gonna have to put it to M1 for you to. No. That's what I bought.
Sure, Matt.
Colombian. This is what you look at and you'll think, why is it still going lower when I want to buy? I'm not looking at this and thinking, why is it still going lower when I want to buy? I'm thinking, if I'm going to buy, it needs to get above that. That's it.
You're thinking the narrative is wrong at this point.
That's what you're thinking. Hey. It could keep falling and I don't get an entry, and that's fine, but I'm not going to sell this. Not today. I'm not going to sell this today. Everybody's selling this today.
So next M1 CSD you're going to take.
Next M4 CSD I'm going to take. And I would appreciate a buy to sell. Because just in case you forget. We just remind you. Uh, Down to the drawings load. This is Nasdaq's drawn liquidity. Remember that? All the money, all the guys who made money here. I'll just duplicate this chart to save me some time. Somewhere here, there's going to be that buy stop, David. Just give it little time. So, one more time. All the profit that was made here is being taken out of Bitcoin and put into, where's my IR tool that was here? Oil and gold. Remember the oil rally we talked about? I want to see it get to at least 50%. Gold has already rallied. So buy side retraced. Nasdaq. Money is being pulled out on Nasdaq as well. So you look at it like this. Look at oil and gold side by side. And these should be trading higher. You put Nas and Bitcoin side by side. And these should be trading lower. This has a lot further to go, but we talked about this is the long-term direction for Nasdaq. I'm not looking for this to fall out of bed today because it's Friday. So what happens when you have a key level and the market pushes towards the key level and fails? There's going to be a short-term rally. Today I'm playing that short-term rally.
You like managed to stay up after taking those?
What do you mean? I'm not up like anything drastic or anything spectacular.
Yeah, automate. That sounds a bit more realistic.
Say that again?
Just comments in the chat.
Is it a futures challenge? I don't get how you lose 30 points on a 10-point trade in futures.
Yeah, like this one was probably easily 30. And then even on the M1 chart with the 50-point M1 candle, that was another 30.
Are you using the automatic settings or are you setting your own stop loss and TP?
Like bracket predetermined.
What?
Brackets.
Yeah.
You know, when you enter a trade and it has a bracket for you.
Yeah, are you using? You should set your own, you know.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, cause I'm wondering how come you always have a 30-point stop.
No, I didn't. That one just needed it. It's not like I'm just like randomly like handing out 50 pointers.
Two losses, right? Loss somewhere there, but that didn't go far enough. I probably could have managed that, but I didn't. Dup, 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 dup. Taking the next buy with me, David.
If there's logic to it,
Kish.
I'll tell you what I'm going to buy. So new hours coming up, and the market has already dropped this much. My question to myself is, what are the chances that this new hour just continues to melt? What do you think, David? If we've already dropped from 940, 730, that's a lot of drop.
I would say that your guess is better than mine.
But it's still a guess. So usually, I remember when I'd be in instances like this. So let's say I'm looking at overnight session high, and the market would run above. I'm looking for a short, trying to get a CSD. I'm framing everywhere that I want the CSD to print. It doesn't print. It doesn't print. It doesn't print. It doesn't print. The new hour comes, then there's that big spike, and then there's non-stop retracement. There's always this element where the first CSD that prints, and I feel like because it's been going one-sided, if I enter, I'm going to take a loss. So then I don't take it, and I wait for it to come back, and it never does. So I'm looking at this now, I'm thinking to myself, do I have enough here where I can enter and not expect it to come back? That's my question now. To myself.
Is there like part of your mind though at this point that's saying even if you do get along, this is just a retracement now for lower because of how structure has printed? Like you're changing bias from like bag above here to like we just dropped another 200 points. So like even if you do get along here, it's just for like one of these failure swings right here.
Here's my logic here. So this market is underlyingly bearish, okay? And you can't pump money into a bearish market to make it go lower. It's not like you can press sell, and then the market goes lower. So I'm thinking all of this here is going to pull in late limit orders, early buyers. It's going to trade back up, then it's going to go here. That's all. Today's Friday. What are the chances that Friday I mean, I've seen it before, but what are the chances that Friday just goes there? Not likely, in my opinion. So that means whatever is happening now is setting the stage for what's coming next. And if what's coming next, based on what we've been doing, is that NASDAQ is going to reach here, shouldn't it accumulate sells by trading higher, offset to buyers? Taking a trade under a narrative and it fails the first time, or it fails the first 2 times, no big deal. Why should it be no big deal? Because nobody here is new to taking a trade that doesn't play out. Taking a trade that doesn't play out does not end your career. Anything that we tell ourselves are over a losing trade, it's just the emotions because it was a losing trade. That's all. I expect August to be a difficult month to trade. I said it yesterday on the call. For that reason, I am going to do public call. I'm expecting August to be a difficult month. So pause for a second. Whenever it's difficult, the thing that kills you first is lack of patience. Am I saying that there was lack of patience for entering here? No, that was a process and I took it. No big deal. Whether it's a win or a loss, no big deal. I am going to buy this again, baby. The entry might not be there yet. The setup might not be there yet, but I'm going to buy this.
And I'm guessing you're literally just going to wait for the taking of this down candle in a failed expansion context.
I'd rather get them up here with a close. Really.
Why? What is that for you?
First push, deliver low. Sweep deliver low. PDR is formed here.
Wasn't the next step after sweeping was a CSD and then a retrace?
Well, the sweeping is going to create a PDRA, right? You want to see this get taken first?
Well, I mean, that's the low of the delivery now.
Fair, but this is the low of the expansion too. But all right, fair. This is the low of the delivery. When this big wick formed, I was using that as a crutch, and that's why I put that box there. So I'm watching how are they closing in here. There is no entry fractal at the moment. There is nothing that I'll say this is clearly bearish, this is clearly bullish. But I'm looking for it to form there.
But we take this high. That's your bullish structure. You took that yesterday. Same thing.
No, this was different. Yesterday was different. Yesterday I had a clear key level. I don't have a clear key level, so I have to be watching candle by candle analysis. So let's say about there. I'm expecting the young entry to print somewhere around there
What significance does that up candles high have for you?
because I want to see them expand through here. Low of the delivery, CSD, higher prices. I'm focused on here. If it doesn't print here or nothing happens here, it's the same thing with everything that I've outlined so far. Conviction comes there. Conviction comes there. If it does not come, no big deal.
The conviction for you came with this up candle closing above this down candle, correct?
Right. But remember, we're going left to right. Left to right. The analysis started here. Remember? This not wicking means it's going to trade through here. Full stop. It traded through there. Conviction comes, get back above that. While we're watching that, we're outlining what's happening candle by candle. Next area that would make me want to trade is there. We got that. I traded. I took a loss. Okay. What? There is no need to create a grand spectacle if our analysis fails. If this process prints tomorrow, or tomorrow Saturday, I'm still going to trade. I don't
Like
make
this, I'm with you.
Mhm.
Like I can understand there's some type of process here. When you buy the open of an M1,
Excuse me.
you buy the open of an M1 candle here with no structure or time involved to get 80 or whatever you said you got there, that to me is nothing.
there's no there's no comment on it. That's just it.
When I say nothing, I mean there's no coherent logic there. Like coming from our higher time frame narrative, or like, I mean, like you entered like literally before an M1 CSD, like you entered on the open of a candle.
Okay, we had this conversation already. Remember this conversation, right? Logic does not make sense only when the trade plays out. You have to get over this perfectionist approach that everybody likes so much. If there are 5 steps in a process, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Okay? And you take step 1 and 2 prints and you take a trade at step 3 and it plays out, logic. If you take a trade at step 3 and it fails, it's still logic. If you only justify that this is a good process because a trade plays out, you will never have conviction. It will only make sense after the fact.
And so what was the logic, I guess? Like what was step 3 or 4 for the M1 buy here? Maybe I'm missing that.
But we talked about that. We talked about that when I showed you this. If this right here is representing the order block, wicking the order block has me thinking they're going to do that, which is why while this was printing, I'm saying that's not a buy. I'm not buying that. Leave it alone. It's going to take that low. Remember that?
Yes, anticipating it was this you were getting in on.
Right. Well, no. I was specifically saying if it wicks here, expect it to trade through here. Look for the setup after that. Don't buy that. But I said if we closed above there and it drops, that's a buy you can take. Equities open, right? When this happened, I was saying I can buy the next candle. Equities open came in. So let's say under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have expected this candle to be this aggressive, even if we did trade lower afterwards. Maybe it would have been a wick and then eventually go lower. Equities open was a little bit more aggressive. Okay, no big deal. That happened. Because of this logic, I'm expecting after this candle closes, I can buy. That's exactly what I said here. But I also said it's aggressive. And I said I was even making jokes. Can I buy this? And then remember what you said, like, yeah, pretty much, you know. And I said, okay, watch this. And I bought it. Remember that?
Yep.
I'm not going to say that was the best trade ever. All I'm going to say is the process for me saying this is a trade I can take is there. It failed. Okay. You've never seen an A+ process fail? You've never seen a setup that you've taken multiple times and one failed before? So don't justify now why everything here didn't work and put yourself through that mental torture. If this, then that is the only approach we take when you're looking at live candles. In hindsight, we could make up whatever and say whatever. This, to me, is a buy that I would take to target. Let's take this up. I would take a long to target 23,276 right there. And it's at 22.7 whatever now. I would go long to target that level. For me to go long, there are mile markers that need to be in the market. There is nothing, absolutely nothing below here that makes me want to buy this.
Failed expansion, close about 50%.
Sure, that's a process that you could justify to get in here because that is now here. You read the market left to right. Good times, bad times. You don't change your process simply because of the outcome of a trade. You don't go crazy because you win, and you don't go crazy because you lose. You focus on the process. That's why I'm saying August is going to be a difficult month. There are going to be things in August that makes you feel like you don't want to trade. And it's for that reason why I'm saying I'm doing calls publicly, because a lot of persons have quit trading over the last 2 months. I've gotten a whole lot of DMs. No fault of mine. I see an opportunity where I could offer some guidance. I'm sitting, think about this. I told you yesterday I'm not trading today. I told you I'm expecting August to be a difficult month. Yet here I am publicly trading live. I'll go as far as to say taking losses, showing you that one, I believe August is going to be a difficult month. Two, I'm still looking for the same processes I look for in August. Doesn't change what I'm looking for. Three, I'm trying to get you to not go crazy simply because a difficult month proved to be difficult. That's called wasting mental capital. There is absolutely no reason to feel like I'm going to start changing stuff. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to. Come on. Everybody's lost a trade before. Everybody's lost a big trade. Everybody's gotten a big winner. Doesn't matter. Are you taking consecutive trades based on a repeating logic, or just based on the fact that you took a loss and you want to make it back? You don't think I want to make my loss back here? Of course I do.
That's why you're buying this candle,
Which one?
the one that just opened.
I'm not buying this candle. David. I'm going to get the retracement after we close above here, okay? This is the last thing I'll do before we end the call. I'm going to buy a retracement after we close above here.
And why, like in this instance then, was this M4 CSD not enough for you?
That's not a CSD.
This up candle taking this down candle side.
You know exactly why that's not a CSD, David. What's going on today?
We need a close, man, David. Come on.
What's going on? David, you're sounding oddly emotional today. And I'm going to talk about the fact that maybe it's because of the loss. Fair. If that's the reason, I get it.
For horse and carriage, yeah, like I understand why that's not a CSD, but like in any other context, that's a CSD.
Are you buying the open of this candle, David?
No.
So why would you think I'm buying the open of this candle? When I kept repeating and not trading until this happens.
Hello, Fish.
Hola.
Can I interrupt you?
Sure.
I have just a question for higher time frame. Since we now have a nice retracement, or we have a reversal, it will show what it will be. If you look at the weekly chart on NASDAQ or US 100, whatever, would the open of the week of July 14th be the key level, as there are two consecutive up close candles on weekly, please.
Oh, you're looking
I'm-
at this as CSD and retrace and then lower?
No. I mean, if we close on a weekly basis below the open of that 14th July weekly candle,
Mhm.
would that be a signal for you for a reversal?
So
In my opinion, for me, yes. As
Sure. yes,
as I learned it from you, that could be now on a higher time frame is equal like a fractal in a lower time frame. That could be a signal for lower, baby.
I agree. But without that, I already expect Nasdaq to trade lower. So that's what I'm saying. I'm expecting Nasdaq to reach for here. Potentially
Yeah.
lower, but as of right now, here.
I posted on my X 2 weeks ago this movement. I was I was saying when YM is taking the high at 88, after FOMC the price will fall. I was 2 days a little bit too early with my prediction, but I am very happy this happens. What I will see now. And the last question for me was this closing on weekly basis, just to prepare myself for under moves.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
Thank you very much.
All good, all good, all good. David, I want instinctively watching this, I want to buy the next candle.
And just for a little bit of process here, failed expansion, are you using this as your order block?
Sure, we can. Why not? That's your order block. So let's move this to the open of the order block then. So we want to buy there. Deal?
Yep, FEG inside of it.
Okay.
And how are you going to manage risk here?
20 points. How do you manage risk here?
Well, like I see
putting
this key
stuff
level
here?
down below us.
Give it a little time. Been a while since I didn't get anything decent by this time of the day. But no worries, no worries. I expected today to be a little bit messy. 2 minutes to go. I wonder if we can get this. To go a little bit lower first, and then I'm back.
So like, are you specifically looking after an M1 CSD here, or are you just limiting like below the open of the next candle?
I'm going to mark it when the next candle opens and trades later.
So like, even if like we close here, you would mark it in here with a 20-point stop.
In a perfect world, I'd rather my entry be below this candle. Okay, let's do that. In a perfect world, I'd like my entry to be below this candle. Okay. For now, the plan, with the information I have, the plan is to buy below the open of the next candle. In a perfect world, I would like it to open and trade lower into here and then higher. So, with that expectation, 9 times out of 10, the first minute is that candle trading lower. So I'm likely going to trade the second minute. So it is 9:15 now. So my entry is going to come somewhere between 9:17 and 9:20. So for completeness sake. I'm going to take the process of what I want to do and do this for you. Let me take this off. Would like my entry be somewhere there. $68. $8. Something like that. Okay. I want it to be after this candle. Now I wait.
It's the 1 minute candle from 10-11. The key level.
So this FEG right here.
You are 1 minute. Okay, okay. I thought the key level would be the down close candle from 10 a.m. 11 minutes.
This one here.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is where I want to buy, David.
Kish.
Hola.
Yeah, if I could ask a question while this is ongoing. So in terms of, because on the 4 minute earlier you were like, I don't, oh, okay. Is it possible to go to the 4 minute quickly? Just
Yeah.
okay. So because you were mentioning above, so in this area, when you were talking about the order block, and because once again, I will always reference the March 17 or 18 video because I think it's just a wonderful video. So in this instance, because this was, well, this close below this, but when we have this kind of setup whereby we have this second candle close here, and that is the key level, and then we have this expansion, and then whereby the first candle in the expansion is also closing below a previous failed expansion. For you, is this a CSA of this one stronger than this?
So usually, if you're expecting an order block to form anywhere, it's consecutive candles, always get a greater reaction when you use the entire candle in the expansion of the order block. My thing is, I don't always expect order blocks to form. I expect processes to print. How the processes print may vary. So we can have, let's say a setup is going to run higher, okay? The process is we should deliver higher, full stop. That fractal could be run, and it looks like that. Oops. That could be the fractal. Just one sweep, and then it push. Nothing more. We could have a buy-side fractal that looks like it could be the other way around, where it goes bam, 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 bam. Doesn't matter. What matters is this market is being delivered higher. Depending on which fractal you're familiar with or comfortable with, that's going to be the pattern that you trade. Make sense?
Yes.
So if let's sit there. if this is what you trade primarily, then you're going to look for that low, you're going to look for this, and then you're entering. What you're going to see is there are going to be times when this portion is one candle. There are going to be times when this portion is multiple candles. There are going to be times when this is a consolidation. You're going to see all of those things, and then over time, experience will show you how to navigate all of them. That makes sense?
Yes, 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 it does.
Consecutive candles at a range low before you get the CSD, there is no harm in entering here. However, there are going to be times when you enter here and the retracement is deeper.
Mhm.
And there are going to be times when you enter and the retracement goes all the way back down to this. Because you don't always get two candles doing that CSD. Sometimes it's one.
Mhm.
So as you start to see all of those print over and over and over, you will basically find which one you like and which ones are not likely to play, which ones you make money on, which ones you lose money on, and all that. Fair?
Fair, fair, fair.
Okay.
Well, I prefer this because well, I'm mechanical and and you gave it mechanically, so I'm not it's like it's more than enough. Oh, but the next question would then be, because still on that same, because today's call just feels like a continuation of that day, if I'm being honest, for myself. There you were mentioning about also the loop closure, if I can use that, whereby for this, in this instance, once we were done here, during that time also you mentioned about the fact that we can have an FEG and price can, do this and run. And sometimes this is just two candles in this expansion, but in the end, because in the video you were also, some of these expansions or the expansions you used were just two. And I was wondering, what if it's something like this? Do we need that to close? Okay, if we shift to the left, if you could, I would show you maybe what makes more sense, maybe to the left a little bit more. Yes, okay. So in this instance, because I was a little concerned here, so in this instance we have this and we're done. But then also we created an FEG here, and of course that was something for if one was going down. However, we came back to, okay, this is one candle down here. And again, I was wondering, do I track this? I don't know if you're following, or when this closed, and was this enough? Or do I need us to come back down here like we did? Of course, this is pre-market, so I'm not supposed to be, but just asking if it's happening outside. So is this enough to go? Or in this instance, when we finish this loop, do I just wait back here? So if I was just looking at this FEG was enough. So I don't know if you're getting my question.
I understand. So that I spoke about this earlier in the call where I was saying most times when you're looking at reversals, because we like reversals, we expect them to be run and then that's it. There are times when this run hits a level, and then because of how this is delivered, it works beautifully. Meaning you have something like bam, bam, hit the level, die. Okay? Now, most times what's going to happen is when you have a level, it's going to print like this. Right?
Yes.
If you have a key level, the first run toward the key level, if it fails, just mark that. Just mark where it is. It's either a higher or low. Just mark it. Then you mark the run. Then you use that to frame your CSDs and all your good stuff, and then you go your entry. If it's a straight push to the level like this, this fractal is not a fractal that I like to trade. I don't. I'd rather, if my key level's at that height, hit the key level, print whatever needs to be printed, order block, FEG, rejection block, whatever.
Mhm.
And then I get my entry. I prefer trading this than this.
Okay.
Because most times when you have a level, because I like to keep my stock controlled. So if I get this and I don't see a reason that's strong enough to go lower and I just try to trade this, it does not work for me. I get stopped a lot. So I take that
Okay.
fractal out of my repertoire. These I'll trade all day, every day.
Okay.
All day, every day.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so very much. And if it's not out of place, I truly say, if anyone, the March 18, the review, it's funny enough that in that odd day also you started with 2 losses, and it was similar to what you're saying now. I think today's call is just like a continuation of that video. Thank you so much, Kish. Thank you.
No worries, no worries, no worries. So no retracement, no entry for me.
Ish, when you see movements like this with high volatility, big price ranges, don't you have in mind that the price, when it retraces, it could break that FEG and make a double bottom?
Like hit here and then make a double bottom?
And, no, your FEG where you want to go long. Yes. Maybe this will not hold because of the volatility, and it will double bottom and then it will go up. I seen this many times when price ranges are big, like now, so to say. The price is too weak to make games like this in FEGs and so on, but it goes to retest the low it had made already. What do you think?
Okay. Look at it like this. I 100% believe Nasdaq is getting here. That's my expectation. Okay. Price action today, in terms of process, large sells like this don't usually go anywhere without reaching for this level first. For that reason, I'm expecting higher prices. How the higher prices print, I'm going to be looking at some process that I know and understand to get in. It could be a fractal, it could be something else, it could be whatever. That part is irrelevant. It's only relevant when you're trying to get a trade. So we started off with a big push down, took some losses, no big deal. In my mind, this is just a fractal printing in line with us being bullish. I am not bearish here. I will not sell this until it gets here. If it doesn't get here, I'm looking for it next week, full stop. If I miss that short and it gets to the objective, I won't change how I will analyze or execute going forward. Okay? This FEG here, to me, this is where my entry should form. And, I was so bold to post exactly where I wanted, which is these 2 candles here, my entry to be. It didn't get there. Both of the candles didn't even get down to that level. I'm not long. This is trading higher. I'm expecting it to trade higher. It's traded like 100 points already. I'm not long, and I'm not mad about it. If it gets here, I will execute without any type of fear if I'm at the charts, or it will miss me. I'm not looking at this thinking all of this is going to get invalidated today and it's going to run a log. I'm not seeing that. Not at all. All I'm seeing is if I'm going to trade along anywhere up here, it's going to be if we get back anywhere here and print a FEG, and that FEG holds and in a CSD, I'll buy that. Outside of that, It's a movie for me. Do I feel bad that I missed the trade? No, I don't feel bad. Would I have preferred to be in? Of course. Of course I'd have preferred. Who wants to analyze and then don't participate in the trade and the trade moves 100 points? Nobody. But I'm not going to make that, you know, I'm not going to use that to justify bad behavior. I'm not going to find along just because I want to be bullish. There's nothing wrong with doing that if you are, you know, revenge trading or trying to make it back. The important thing here that I want you to see again is I'm expecting August to be a difficult month to trade. I've gotten a lot of texts and a lot of messages about persons quitting. I feel like if you've been trading for a while and you actually want to do this long term, August is going to be the month that delivers that final blow for you and you feel like it's time to quit. I'm not telling you don't quit. I'm not telling you continue. I'm trying to show you that there are difficult times for everybody in August, and you don't have to blow up to navigate a difficult market. You can take a loss and not blow up. You can take multiple losses and not blow up. Because why? This is the process that you follow to execute. The perfect process doesn't print. Control yourself. You took a loss. What's the next logical level that should have you thinking I can make a decision? Why shouldn't I make a decision on every single candle? Why was I not trying to get in down here? If I'm just trying to trade, I could have taken so many trades in here if I just wanted to trade. I'm not trying to do that because, again, if I do that today, for the rest of the month, if you try to copy any other bad behaviors,
You'll get killed.
You're pretty likely to fail. And that's going to defeat the entire purpose of me doing this. For the millionth time, I'm expecting August to be a very difficult month. If we come here any morning and it's a super easy day, we leave and we don't give anything back. We come here and the day is difficult, we control the risk. We stop the bleeding. We don't bleed out. We get stabbed, we patch it up. We get stabbed again, we don't have any patch. We cover it and we leave it there. We don't go back and try to get stabbed multiple times. If that does not show you that you can navigate days when the market feels uncomfortable or when your process does not play out, then your mind is going to crumble under the pressure of trading. It's going to crumble because winning is going to have you thinking every day is going to be super easy. Winning is going to have you thinking, if I have a perfect process and the process makes sense and I get stopped out, get right back in. Just get right back in. No. At least one person on the scholarship must have already done this where an idea is not invalidated. You're wrong on an idea. And you get back in, you get back in, you get back in. Max daily loss. Then you look back at the mess that you did and you see bye. Why didn't I wait for this one? No, you can't justify bad behavior in hindsight. In hindsight, bad behavior just looks, why on earth? I bought, I took a loss. I bought, I took a loss. Okay. Why am I still buying? That's bad behavior. Now look at this. Buy, loss. Buy, made it back. No entry. This came, buy, this run. When you look at that performance across your day, you can clearly see that made sense to buy, but it just didn't work. That was a little impulsive, but it worked. This was perfect, beautiful. That's easy. Okay? That's easier to replicate. either in a good environment or a bad environment. If this does not get here, I'm not going to buy anywhere in here.
And you're not going to sell either from above.
No, I can't sell this knowing that this is still above me.
But knowing that a retracement's coming,
When is it coming?
when we hit this order block,
How about we don't get that high? We just go lower now.
then there's no short.
That's what I'm saying. I will 100% sell this right here. But I'm not expecting Friday to be the day that just doesn't make sense. Or let me not say it doesn't make sense, because then that would need justification. If the lifeblood of the market is participation, how many persons are going to be involved in a short from here going into the weekend and not take profits? Not a lot. It's going to take some serious type of coke, given the economic climate and the things popping off over the weekends, for any sensible investor to want to hold this through the weekend. So, for lack of a better term, let's say, humor me, and let's say this is profit taking. It's profit taking in a bearish trending market, which leads to pullbacks and then continuation. We wanted higher prices. We got stopped out, it's trading higher. Okay, no big deal. Am I going to be bullish now and calling you all-time high? Of course not. I'm going to follow the same process that led to wins, the same process that led to losses, the same thing I'm going to do. If it gets there, I will participate. What if it stays here and chops until the end of the day? I won't be around for the end of the day, but just saying. Is that going to stop me from wanting this market to get up here? No. What it's going to do is have me thinking, Sunday when the market opens, we're likely to trade higher Monday, Tuesday, and then we crash again. And you will see my executions. What lends well to the idea of that? This. Money should be pumping into oil. This is going lower. Money should be pumping into gold. This is going higher. Money should be coming out of Bitcoin and coming out of NASDAQ. Clearly coming out, clearly coming out. Now, let me tell you something. If Bitcoin trades higher over the weekend, right? Humor me. Today's a Friday. Humor me, since we're going to be doing more of these calls all the next week. If this market trades higher, all right, I'm going to put this line here. I'm going to name it Nas Yaps. Oh, okay. If tomorrow or Sunday, anywhere between Friday evening and Saturday evening, or Saturday evening and Sunday evening, Bitcoin gets above here, after NASDAQ closes low, NASDAQ is going to gap up. If it doesn't gap up, it's going to run in Asian session Sunday night. When it does, it's going to reach for this. And when it does, my alert will be triggered. And when it does, depending on the time of day, I'm going to short that. This trading higher now should feel like a retracement. Like I get it. You know, bullish bias, it ran lower. We must be bearish. It's trading higher. It must be retracing. No. We could justify a whole lot of stuff in here to make it make sense. But you will not learn nothing from that besides trying to follow a signal. 2 weeks. This week and next week. What's up? Not right? Okay. Everything that we just talked about, from processes to rules, will play out. And hopefully, it points you to be a little bit more disciplined, and it helps you to realize that sometimes my process is going to fail. Sometimes my process is going to play out. Sometimes the market will be stuck between 2 points and nothing will happen. And I'm going to sit on the charts for a while and I'm going to have to decide, am I going to spend all day here, or am I going to trust that next week, tomorrow, there is going to be something that I recognize? I can tell you no. If at 10 a.m., this has not given me an entry here or given me an entry here, and it's still between here, I'm done. I don't have to be done trading for the day, but I'm going to be done watching for now. So what happens if it plays when I'm not looking? Not likely, because I know I'm not watching and alerts can be set. Set an alert. Alert pings. Can you look at the chart? Yes or no? If it misses you, just misses you. The important thing is I have a rule to follow. I don't want to set a limit under these conditions. I don't. Because it's Friday. I can be patient.
Hey, Kish, would you be framing a dark pool here outside of like the order block that we would retrace to, with like the liquidity on the left, liquidity taken, dark pool?
Wait, say that again. Sorry, I was replying to something.
Would you be framing a dark pool here? Like for the retracement objective? Yeah, I know we have this order block here, but if you scroll left, there's liquidity, liquidity taken, dark pool right here.
Yeah, we could. We absolutely could. But if you're looking at your dark pool to be there, then you want closes above that.
Okay, so you wouldn't be using that though for like to kickstart the retracement.
We can. So remember what I said earlier. If I'm looking at price and I have enough things to make a decision, I don't need to factor in every single tool in the tool shed. If it's a case where it's unclear, like I mark a level and I say, I want to see this happen at that level, and nothing happens. We don't get to the level, not at all. Then I can start looking at maybe something else was there. But you don't need to use multiple tools to do something if one is doing a pretty good job already. This pretty much didn't get a chance to do anything. I don't need to change it.
Yeah.
Allow the market to get there. $10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. If this does not move, that's it for me. I'm not going to try to change the day from being a small day, and it is what it is. It's always Monday. Plus, I really didn't plan on doing much today either way. So I'm fine with small win, small loss, big win if it happens. But not a big loss. So given the structure of this chart, there should be at least one person thinking about, can I get away with a short here? I'm gonna tell you the exact thing that I just said. I'll participate here. I'll participate here. If your short from here plays out, kudos to you.
And like you're specifically using this as the order block, correct?
No, I'm talking about a long when it gets up there and confirms higher prices.
Okay.
You're actually one of the persons I thought would be short here.
No. No. Not for me.
Good, impressive. Genuinely impressive.
I mean, it's just like management of the day at this point. This CSD though has me wishing I would have taken that.
That's exactly what I said earlier.
Yep.
You only validate things after they play out. In real time, you had no conviction to take it.
M1 printed a VPR with a down candle there that I was considering, but as I'm saying that's a CSD, you're telling me I'm crazy.
These are the comments where put it like this. That's a trade that you would have won and I wouldn't have taken. And you know, I'd be fine with it. But if it was a loss for you, then you'd have a problem with it, despite being okay with it 5 minutes ago. None of the losses I took here, I have no problem with that.
Well,
That's
same
the
with
loss.
this long.
Huh?
Same with the secondary long here. That's one where you would have taken and nobody else would have taken.
Not that deep. Not that deep. Hi, baby. Not yet. We finish at 10 o'clock. Next 11 minutes. Look at the time. Where's the bottle? Bubble.
Okay,
You know. Hola.
you would have shorted this because of the last up close candle was raided by the two candles before now, the down close candle.
Well,
You would short.
it's an fractal, but I'm focused on where the fractal form. That's why I was saying I'd expect somebody to entertain.
Okay, so when the last up close candle is raided by a down close candle, you are saying normally the retracement.
Mhm.
Okay. Second question. I interpret order blocks, and I don't know if I'm right or not. When you put it on 15 minutes, please.
Oh,
Okay. You see the swing low to the left, right in the middle?
here?
Yes, that's the order block for me. When that low, or better, I use openings and closings. When that opening of that candle gets weighted to the right by that big down closed candle, that's for me to the left. It's the order block. We have buy and we have sell. Is it okay or is this bullshit?
It's not my process, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Get the buy now.
Oh.
Going for lows.
Sorry. Someone said it's going for lows. So I shouldn't buy this. Took it for you. No worries. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
David, you got the 100-point sell.
No, I haven't taken anything.
So that's still.
I mean, it came off of the dark pool, but it was just a guess at best if it was going to go there.
No, I saw it, but I'm kind of finished for the day. So
Good work, Mac. Congrats.
no. It's nothing major. It's small, but I wasn't really gonna trade today, but I just saw the longs and took it. Don't want to give anything back. So
Nice.
David, really, if I may, the March 18 videos, the two reviews, really, I swear, maybe because I'm mechanical, it is just, for example, the shot, at least for me, on M1 was, I just could not ignore that. But
Good stuff.
today's call, I think, is like a continuation of that specific video. If I don't know, maybe it's my bias because I've been watching. I think I've watched it maybe like 7 times this week already. Really, it's really that good. Really that good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So close. Somebody says link. No worries. 10 o'clock. 5 minutes to decide if I get up and stretch. Oh, putting it to the call. Hurry up and finish this delivery so I can be fine. Pull it out.
Longest 2 minutes.
Right? Better be worth the wait.
Well, here we go.
Man. This is torture. Oh Lord, it's 10 o'clock.
Do you reduce risk when it's so volatile, or are you so convinced of yourself that you say, "Oh no, I take my 3 micros or whatever and keep it like this, no matter what"?
Triple.
Funny. No, so I'm a simple guy, right? I'm very, very simple. And if all my rules are there, I'm just going to execute.
Okay.
if I get a chance. So what I like to do is if I'm on a trade like this that is just stressing me out, taking so long, I will take my position and break it up into multiple entries. Just to control risk. I would not want the small green day today to turn into like a big red day. If it's a small red day, I can live with that. I can live with that. It's been a good week. All right, so I am putting my first position right there. I waited for this. Again, breaking my position into 3.
And you're not even going to wait for CSD, just that first one's a limit.
Nope. I'm not waiting for CSD at all. I waited for the entry. Volume imbalance down here. I guess you could look at it, but it was never a part of my process. And this is what I guess in a sense you could consider me stubborn in this case, where if it wasn't a part of the process going in, I don't add it without a good reason. So I got one in. If this runs and I don't get another one, then so be it.
And it was based off the order block open here or this FEG?
Order block open. Well, I wanted the FEG for perfection, but that's why I'm breaking my position up, because I guess this is FOMO. Instead of waiting exactly for the FEG, I have 2 levels here. I just took the first one with reduced risk. If I got the second one, I'll put the remainder of the position on. Now I'm focused on everything above here. And then it's there.
Little
Oh,
30-point stop there.
huh?
Little 30-point stop.
Remember, it's reduced risk, so it's not that detrimental. So this is it now. Okay. M4 is about to close, and then just show me the money for my patients. I'm not even super excited. I'm not super anything. I'm just following the process like a good boy. That's all. Moan, are you here?
Yeah.
You in?
Yeah.
Okay. For anybody who took the losses with me, it goes without saying that if, despite me having a TP that's all the way in the moon, if you're able to recover the day and make it look like as if you didn't trade today and it just end the day green, not a bad way to go. If you are a little bit more on the risk averse side, then manage risk. There is nothing wrong with recovering the losses and then going into the weekend. Okay, so I'll give you 5 more minutes and then I'll end the call, and you'll have to manage the trade on your own, because I gotta go be a dad. So let's see if we can get at least 20, 30 point push in that 5 minutes or the next 4 candles. When will it be posted? So I'm going to, when the call ends, it's going to take about 15, 20 minutes to convert, I think. Just picking numbers out of the air. I have no idea exactly what it is. I won't be at the computer, right? So it's 10:06 now. Latest 1 p.m. it will be on YouTube. Well, yeah, because I'm not logged into YouTube on this PC, but no big deal. It can be transferred across PCs and everything. But yeah, latest 1 p.m. my time, it will be there. At least 30 points. At least 30 points. That was 20 just now. That's how I was, saying at least 30 points. At least 50 is good too. I like 50. 50 is a nice number, but at least 30 points. All right, that's 30. Again, be responsible if this gets you out of drawdown for the day. It's a partial or something, choose that option. If you're up for it, sit tight. But yeah, I think having delivered that 30 points, that's earned me the right to leave early. Manage your trade. I'll pop in the chat from time to time to see what's going on, but manage your trade, okay? There we go. You will trim here if you can trim here or close everything here and be fine, do that. But please manage the trade. No point in losing if you can't handle winning without getting big-headed. But yeah, gotta go. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll pop in the chat. Give me like 2 hours and I'll be back in the chat. 2 hours, all right? Thank you for coming to our TED Talk. August should be pretty much like this. Hopefully, it will not be a case where all the days start off with losses. And if we can do that, we'll have a great month, despite it being difficult. And hopefully that will fix the confidence issues. David. Get in.
Thank you, Kish.
Bye-bye.
Respect, Jen.